What is up, guys? We had
Tranquilo, can we fix it?
we've been
Bienvenidos a Cuba.
as you can tell, we've been in Cuba for a while. We've gotten a lot of questions of how we got here, how much it cost, where we stayed, such and such, what you have to do to come here. So we thought we'd make a video to, talk about these subjects. Where do you guys want to start?
Just give you guys like an insight about what to do, how to get here, the visa, what you should do.
It was pretty simple.
So let's start with the visa.
Okay, so you buy your ticket normally, just how you buy any ticket. What you do is you have to get your visa, and what I mean by get, depending on the airline, you have to pay a certain amount. And so what you do is, usually it's a connection flight to get to Havana. And so what I did was I went through from Phoenix to Fort Lauderdale, and in Fort Lauderdale, before your flight, you have to just ask the first person you see who works there where you go and buy the visa for Havana, for Cuba, and they'll send you to like some kiosk where some one or two people will be working, and you go there and you fill out a paper and boom, that's it. And you pay. I paid $50. I think some of them, depending on your airline, it's like 60, 70, 80, whatever your airline makes you pay. And then that's it. You have your visa.
In general, it's $50, but I flew United. United, I had to pay $75. So I think United is the most you have to pay for your visa.
Actually, it all depends on the airline. So American actually charges $100.
Really?
Whoa.
So the best thing to do is ahead of your trip, at least a week or two. If you apply online, it's actually $50 online. Then they send you the email, or you can print it off online, the visa. But plan ahead, know the dates, and plan accordingly if you want to save money. But you can still do it at the gate if you're doing last minute.
If you're JetBlue, it's $50. So
in general, whatever you bring, whatever cash you have in your hands is what you have here. You need to bring more than what you think you're gonna spend. There's no ATMs, there's nothing. What you have is what you spend. So if you're under, you're screwed. You can't Venmo, you can't anything. So you need to bring more than you'll expect to spend.
yeah, and this is for like the American people.
Yeah.
The other people from other places, Europe and stuff, they can go to the bank and they can pull out money from their account. It's only from America. So if you're American, you're from America, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You have to bring the money in your pocket. And on top of that, bring an extra $102 just in case.
Extra 200 just to be safe.
Yeah, even 200, just in case.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Things are expensive. You have to get around places, which means that you're gonna have to take taxi, this and that. You can walk sometimes, but let's be realistic,
The biggest thing though is exchange the US dollars to euros.
That's
Then exchange to Cuban peso while you get here.
Yeah.
Or you'll get charged 10% for US dollar fee and 3% for Cuban process fee.
Yeah.
So that's 30% you're losing out of 100.
Exactly. So Cuba and US are not friends.
Amigo.
They just became
Más o
friends
menos.
Más o menos. Un poco. They just became friends because of Obama. So that's very recent. And so they're still if you come with only US dollars and you change it, you can only change it to CUC, CUC, which is like the currency here. Here in it is, right?
Yeah, that's recorded.
You can only change it to the currency here.
Yeah.
Alright? And so if you do it by US dollars, you lose already
13 already.
13%?
Yeah.
13, but you lose 13%. So what you have to do is get it from before you come, at least 2 days, at least 3 days before you go. Do it even a week before. Change your money from dollars. Change your money
at the bank or at the airport, which is better?
So no, at the bank is better. Switch your money from US dollars to euros at the bank because you're gonna get way more. The exchange rate is way better than if you do it straight from the airport. And so change your dollars to euros, and then when you get here to Cuba, then even just straight in the airport when you get out your terminal or whatever, Just ask people where you exchange your money, and they'll show you where it is, and you exchange your euros to CUC, Cook.
Yeah.
And that's how it's done.
When you get here, when you arrive here, you're gonna need to take a taxi. They're gonna try to rip you off.
No.
Do not give them euros.
No, exchange your money
Absolutely
first.
not.
Exchange
your
first.
monies first. Because they want those euros. They know it's more than the CUP, their currency.
Exchange
CUC, yeah.
first.
And don't take anything above $30 for your
No,
tax.
actually the actual price from the airport is $25 depending
Base
on where
rate.
you're going. Base rate is 25.
Yeah.
If they tell you they're gonna take the 40, 30, say no, say 25. That's the classic rate, and they'll say yes. Always don't be scared to bargain. It's Cuba.
It's literally like, do not get into a taxi without asking how much. That's the one mistake I made. That is the first mistake I made when I came here, right? I got a taxi, I got into a taxi, I was overwhelmed by like, you know, I forgot the Spanish that I used to speak. I really did, man. And I got overwhelmed, so I just hopped in a taxi. It was such a short ride. By the time I got out, I don't even know how much I'm paying. And he was like, "Nope, it's 25." And I couldn't like, you know, talk him down after that. So make sure before you get into any taxi the whole time, you have to set the price. Start low. They're always gonna start hella high. They're always gonna highball you. You lowball them. That's how it is. Just bargain, and then you meet in the middle.
And also, like, I've been getting a lot of like DMs of like, how do we have internet? They have Wi-Fi. Make sure if you're booking an Airbnb, go to amenities,
Yeah.
and make sure Wi-Fi and air conditioning, of course, are one of the things. What they're gonna do is you're gonna have to buy a Wi-Fi card. When you log into the Wi-Fi, there'll be a drop down. It'll say username and login. You're gonna have to scratch off the login. You can pay for 1 hour or 30 minutes. You'll get the Wi-Fi. It depends how good it is where you're staying. The first place we were at in Old Havana the first place was really good.
It was good.
Yeah. This one we're at right now, ain't so good.
No, the weather's horrible, bro.
Yeah. But it all depends on where you're staying. Anything you wanna add?
And before coming here, make sure you tell them that you're here on the religious or some kind of historical.
There's 12 categories.
Did you do that?
I feel
So
like.
you can't
religious?
No, that's some options, but we have
Yeah.
to put like history or student.
Oh, yeah.
study
So if you do,
history.
the easiest way to travel is doing the support for Cuban people.
Yeah.
So if you book an Airbnb, that's considered supporting the Cuban people.
Yeah.
So they don't like you to support the government or any of their corporations. So if you don't stay at a fancy hotel, stay at an Airbnb.
Sorry, go. Sorry, go.
Yeah, so just pick that on the location. They're gonna give you that declaration form. Just fill that out. They don't ask you any question. You just
You're gonna have a total of 4 forms. 4. Because
Is it
at the
4?
airport, you'll get the visa.
The visa.
Then you'll get the 3 forms while you're on the plane. 2 of the forms they'll take from you when you leave the airport. 1 form they'll leave with you. And then your returning visa you'll give to them when you go back, when you departure. So make
do
sure
not lose it.
Don't lose your
do
visa.
not lose that visa. You won't. And when you come to Cuba, I know you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna have another stamp in my passport, but you're not getting a stamp. You're getting that temporary visa. So,
They stamp the card that they give you.
yeah.
So the easiest way is just keep your visa with your passport. And also, by the way, this is like important. Don't be taking your passport around. Keep it here. I mean, our place we had like 2 like little safe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A
we're
lot
safe.
of the Airbnb.
Most Airbnbs have like safes or whatever. I don't know. They're called safes, right?
Safe.
They're called safes. And so you just put your documents and stuff there, and you'll be straight.
Because even if you passport for anything,
Yeah, you don't need your passport for nothing.
except to exchange money.
And you're already gonna do that like in the airport. So
And you need your passport to exchange money. And when you first come to your Airbnb, the owner is gonna ask for a picture of your passport.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
so don't be afraid of that. Like it's supposed to
normal.
happen. It's supposed to happen. You said what?
It's normal.
Es normal. Sí, es normal.
So expect to spend about, I would say about the average budget is about $70.
I'd say like
For what?
80 cooks a day.
I think it's
Absolutely not, bro.
No,
It depends on what
If
you
you come
want.
in a group, it's easier.
Almost metal, at least No, Aratsmato.
We might have English speaker subscribers.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. But
I mean, it depends on what you want. Like, you know, if you want to go get lobster and stuff every single day, yeah, expect to pay a little bit more.
About 100 a day.
you can
No,
find.
not even. Yo, I bought $15 for a big lobster.
Yeah.
The thing is,
That's
you
why
can,
it's-
you can find really good cheap places and you can find really bad cheap places. Number one, I don't recommend any hamburgers, to be honest.
No.
No hamburger.
No hamburgers.
Absolutely not.
Stay away.
Whoa.
I think,
Ropa vieja
Oh,
is.
yeah.
and the torta Cubans is I think overhyped in
What is
America.
it? Torta Cuba.
Those Cubanos.
Oh,
sandwiches,
Cubanos.
it's all hype. Like,
Yeah.
Cubano sandwiches.
Stay away from it. It's
they don't
okay.
really eat that out
It's like-
here. That's just like
It's propaganda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
The
real.
food in Cuba is so much more different than the food in America. The Cuban American food like is like much more Americanized, but the Cuban food here is much more like vegetables, rice,
Beans.
fresh beans. Ropa vejas is the one
I love that
suggestion that we
cabbage
always
side.
have. Do order the pina coladas. It's
Oh
one
yeah,
of
the
the best.
is the best. And mojitos.
Mojitos are good.
Mojitos is the best.
One restaurant, if you guys do go to Havana, it's called La Juliana. It's one of the best
Yes.
ones that we.
I think
I went there
everyone
4
can
days
agree.
straight, and we loved it so
Yeah.
much.
I think our top 3 restaurants while we were here is La Juliana's, La de Monique, De La Monique,
De lo Monique.
De La Monique,
Mhm.
and no, the one we had tonight was good.
I don't know what that's called.
That
Oh,
was-
Havana Club.
Havana Club, yeah.
Havana Club. So
Ah.
La Juliana's,
You sure?
Havana
De La Monique, and Havana Club. Those were top 3.
places we ate.
La Juliana's you need to go to at least.
La Juliana's, yeah, we went so many times. That place, if the taxi driver does not know where it is, I'm gonna just tell you right now, tell them like it's cerca de China, which is like Chinatown. So they have their own Chinatown. So cerca de means close to. So it's literally like across the street and like on the same block as Chinatown. So if you go there and like just look around, you'll see it. Just La Juliana's. So Juliana's.
Yeah. But yeah, did we cover everything?
The thing is, because we're Americans and people are curious about why we're here and they look at us, make sure don't be over friendly because they'll try to sell you something or lead you to do something else. So be nice, friendly, smile, but in my personality, just keep it pushing. But if you do expect to have dialogue, make sure you understand that it's definitely because you have money. In my opinion, because you're in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I mean like these people, the people here in Cuba are very very nice people.
Yes,
Regardless.
the Cuban people are
They're so
Enthusiastic.
like
yeah.
it's crazy. Like they're very pleasant people. They'll help. Some people will just come and help you just to help you. They'll ask you like, oh, what do you want? What are you looking for? Just to help you. We had one guy. What was it? The first night that we were here.
When he walked us all.
We asked him where a certain place was. I think we're trying to go back home, and he was like, "Okay, it's over here. Come." And I think by that time we were used to like people coming and they're helping us out. And then after they finished, do you have a present for me? They usually say, "Do you have a gift for? Do you have a present for me?"
Hey,
And
where you from?
They'll ask if they'll ask for like change or something or like money, like $1 or whatever like that for help. But a lot of times they'll just help you because they're good people. And you know what? Like they do have like a resting B face. Most of the people, like actually all the people. I don't know. Most of the people they do, but like.
But they're actually not.
Just smile, like I smile, like me. I've been just smiling at them, winking at them, whatever, like saying hey, and their smile just comes like alive. They're really like nice people.
A little
They're really
Spanish goes a long way too.
A little Spanish.
Regular
Yeah.
Spanish, yeah.
And they're even more willing to help and to like, help you through whatever if you know a little Spanish,
Yeah.
Yeah, communication is key. Like, make
Yeah.
sure you can download some apps, some
Yes.
phrases
Oh,
you
the
can
apps.
learn.
Yeah, Cuba.
So 2 apps we recommend is Triposo, so TRIPOSO, and Maps.me. Maps.me is a map of Cuba. You can download the map. It's a real-time map wherever you go. You can pull it up. It's like your own GPS system of Cuba. Without internet, you don't need internet to use that, so that's definitely a must if you're out here. Triposo, like you don't need internet either. You can download like things to do out here, recommendations, all that.
For the whole city.
Yeah, for the whole city. And those are both those apps. You don't need internet, so we do recommend that.
Yeah.
They'll be down in the link in this description.
Save 10% by using my code.
Use my code at. We also have a link for Fashion Nova if you want to
Oh,
shop for clothes. And stuff.
Yeah, I'll leave my link down
Yeah, it'll
below.
be done. It'll be done.
But yeah, I think
And where to go for
What
the
else did we
people?
go?
Where should they go? The people if they come to Cuba.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. There are some places. I mean, we went to the beach earlier today. It was called
Tropicoco.
Tropicoco.
Yeah.
Playa Tropicoco. It was real cool. It was pretty close. We paid 10 kuk to get there. But about 25 minutes. It's east. So that's where we went in terms of beach.
And
Popular beach.
The historical place?
Yeah, I would recommend, like, obviously, like, if you come out here, you know, you're gonna see the old cars. I would recommend the convertible tour for like
Yeah.
an hour.
How much
They'll,
did we pay?
they'll take you everywhere.
I think
They'll take you
30,
everywhere, like the whole
Yeah,
city.
30 for 5 of us.
30 about 40.
Yeah.
But we bargained for that, so you make sure you
Always bargain.
Yeah.
It's always a bargain.
Yeah.
Everything is always a
They
bargain.
used to say, they said at one point, was 60 per person?
Yeah, it's from 60 I go to
Come on,
30.
60
bargain.
per person. Like,
It could be half
It's a 30 for all of us.
Yeah, something like 60.
Yeah,
per
if you
person.
mention like the last person got me here for $30, I'm just gonna go with them, then they'll.
Yeah.
And they're always quick to like turn around, like you'd be like, oh, cinco, and they say no. As soon as you walk away, they'll be like, oh, okay, cinco.
Come
Like,
back.
they always come back around. So just make sure and be patient and always like move on, and they'll always like maybe come back and get you.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll take you around like obviously the like Revolution Square. Where else?
The cigar factory.
The cigar factory. They'll take you there.
And you get out the car too. Like they'll
Yeah.
park and
It's not like you
they'll let
just
you to
drive
get
by.
out,
Yeah.
take pictures. Like you know what I'm saying. They
Drink coffee, all that stuff.
see.
Capitolio.
That I think that's where we got picked up right around there.
Yeah.
That's where they have all the cars. You can go pick any color you want, bargain there, make sure you get the price first before you enter the car.
Mm.
And they show you around the city, give you a tour, take pictures for you if you want, and come back. There's no really time limit, but
Yeah.
it's really flexible.
Yeah, I actually have a recommendation, man, in terms of where to stay. I think Havana Vieja, so Old Havana, I really think it's the best place to stay. It's close to everything, it's really central.
You don't cut that
What happened?
out. What you do?
What?
Ma.
I'm not. No, it's just like this.
Best shot. No, we dancing all night. I need to fix my pants. You know what I'm doing?
So camera.
I'm not editing this. I swear I'm not. I'm just putting it up. I don't have time.
Oh my god,
He was like,
anyways, alright, let's get back, if it's not getting edited, right? Alright, so what I was saying was, and a recommendation that I have, like where to stay, is Old Havana. So it's called Havana Vieja. It's really close to everything. It's walking distance from everything that you really, really want to go to. Unless like, you know, you go to the beach or something like that, kind of out of town, right? Really good place. Havana Vieja, Old Havana. So make sure when you look at Airbnbs and stuff, make sure to check those out too. I'm sure when we lived, I think there were some places more west of Old Havana, which seemed cool. I don't know, but most of the things we did was in Old Havana. So
And also, speaking of walking, I recommend walking shoes for the trip because you do a lot of sightseeing.
Yes.
A lot of looking
Walking
at restaurants.
shoes.
Walking shoes a must.
don't try to be
A pair,
fancy.
and not a new pair.
Dusty shoes.
Yeah, just wearing some crappy
Like the
shoes.
shoes you wear to wash your car.
Also shorts, because it's really hot out.
shorts. Shorts is a must. Shorts is a
Yeah,
must.
don't bring jeans.
No, bring jeans.
Bring some jeans.
Nighttime, maybe.
Maybe. I would say like socks. Yeah.
Bring jeans.
Do your thing.
Bring a little bag for your dirty clothes, and then like always like maybe check the Airbnb if they have a washer and dryer. That would really help you.
You're not gonna have a dryer.
There's no dryer. Just hang it up.
You'll have a washer, but dryer you're gonna have to hang it up.
Natural.
Natural.
You got to wash your clothes for?
Yeah, she did it for us.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does that
wash.
Yeah, I asked her where's the wash.
Your Airbnb host might do that. It depends on who you're
Depends on
or
who
you're
you
Depends on where
staying.
you are.
Exactly.
We'll leave the link of the places we stayed.
Yeah.
This one, man, like no. I'm saying she's nice. She was really nice. We mostly saw her
Once.
her cleaner.
We saw her once, Patricia.
Yeah, it's no twice. We saw her.
Yeah.
No, but her cleaning lady was super nice, super understanding. Like we had an issue with the Wi-Fi, she came and she tried to fix it, you know.
And she comes every morning to clean the house,
Yeah, just to brush
do
up.
laundry.
Yes.
But for the most part, like I really recommend like trying to walk a lot of places,
Yeah.
most places. Like sure you can take a taxi and stuff, but like when you were walking, you're seeing
Yeah.
the city.
And don't be afraid to go down like what looks like, you know, like a sketchy neighborhood or because that's the real Cuba, you know, like going to like tourist, like yeah, we went to a tourist hotel and it didn't even feel right. It was just like, you know, this is not Cuba, you know, this is just for like, you know, for tourists.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to walk the streets and just see what Cuba really has to offer.
You'll find some amazing, just beautiful backdrops, beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
Like it's really beautiful out here.
Yeah.
It's different. It's nothing like you've seen. It's like you time travel back in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really
Yes.
is like that.
And it's good thing come as soon as possible before they become Americanized. Because it's probably like the
Yes.
last.
Because now, like we were talking with
After Obama.
yeah, we were talking with some guy. He said when he came even 7 years ago, literally they did not have phones, they did not have cell phones,
Internet.
they didn't have internet, you know.
Yeah.
And now like you'll see everyone on their phones playing games and stuff. So like come before they become like extremely westernized. I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The best time comes now.
Yeah. And it was. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this trip. Like.
We'll definitely come back.
I have a new appreciation for the Cuban people in general, just you know.
Very hardworking people.
Yes, extremely hard.
Very
People have
enthusiastic.
nothing,
Yes.
working their butt offs, and it just
Yeah.
makes you realize that.
And they still like manage at the end of the day to have their smile on their face, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Whoever lives in the first row who's watching this, like when you visit here, you really see how hard they work and how we take things for granted, simple things, you know,
Yeah.
with Wi-Fi, even Wi-Fi, just
yeah,
or just the way we live, water, the way
Yeah.
necessities. You really will see a different perspective of life, like you've never seen. And we encourage anyone who's watching this to really travel, and because you get to know more of yourself, and get to know more about the cultures as you do that.
And you get to understand how privileged we are living in America. I mean, you know, we live there every single day, so I guess sometimes we forget that we have, we forget like the amount of opportunity we have to better ourselves and even just to live a good life.
Yeah.
Where people here, they can work as hard as they want to, and they still won't have the opportunity to
yeah.
make much of their lives, you know.
Exactly.
So
Respects.
yeah, it's really humbling. It's really humbling.
Facts.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think is that it?
I think so.
I think we're
Cool. Last call.
For people who think it's not safe to come to
Oh,
Cuba, it's really safe. There's police enforcement on every corner,
Yeah.
and people
Actually, got in
usually
trouble
just.
with the police yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a fucking shirt.
Yeah, don't, you can't walk around shirtless.
Yeah, don't worry, sure.
Yeah.
If you're a guy, if you're a girl, it's okay. And I mean, what?